Martin, you've made great progress this season. What's at the root of what's happening?
A bit of camaraderie, a bit of hard work, and a few players who can play a bit, I think, Ray. But it could all go up in smoke today, and maybe on Tuesday night in the Coca-Cola. 2 matches, a semi-final, and the game today. Difficult matches for us, but even so, we're glad that we're here rather than not being here.
Your squad is quite depleted for today, though. To what extent?
Got Izzard, Heskey, Lennon and Elliott out in the side. Not to worry. I'm not crying it in here. I'm just delighted to be here. And whatever side we put out, we'll just try and give Chelsea a game of it, I think.
Is there a roll call in the dressing room to see who can play and who's fit?
You just mentioned there that Brooking and Hansen will be available. I hope they are. I think maybe even Jimmy Hill might get a game as well.
Steady, Martin, steady. I guess the results of yesterday would prove that anything can happen in the FA Cup.
Absolutely. We might be the underdogs today, but it's a situation that we've been used to this season. We're really looking forward to it. And Chelsea will be looking to think that they might go the way of Nottingham Forest or Birmingham City, So, and as I say, class as the underdogs. It's good news for us, Ray, really.
Martin O'Neill with Ray. Well, first of all, Chelsea, they've left Vialli on the bench again today, and I saw him down there. He doesn't look very pleased about it, to say the least.
Not enamoured.
Yeah, are you surprised at that?
Well, I think the manager's looked at the game and thinks it's definitely going to be a physical confrontation. So he plays Hughes. He's picked a team accordingly. I think that Hughes and Zola have been a prolific partnership for them. If there's one flaw in Chelsea's season, is at times they've gone away from home, got involved in a physical confrontation, they've come off second best.
Yeah.
There's one thing certain: if Hughes is involved in a physical confrontation today, he'll relish every minute of it.
But they had their best moments against Liverpool when they both played, when Vialli and Hughes were both on the
Yeah,
park.
but they were 2-0 down at the time, and Hull had to take a chance. Goal for broke.
Yeah.
He's picked a team to win today.
Yeah. Jimmy, Leicester are depleted by some stars missing today because of suspension, etc. Can you make a case for them to get anything out of this tie?
Not if you look back at what England did when they were depleted of 4 players. But on the other hand, it can work the other way. It's an opportunity for players who don't normally get the chance in the team. They've got a marvellous occasion, wonderful expectant crowd. If you wanted to say to your manager, don't leave me out next week, boss, on the way I played today, it's a wonderful opportunity for them to do it. So you get the extra enthusiasm on top of that that's already there, because they must be underdogs.
Here's their chance, so to speak. Let's pick out a couple of the stars on show. For Leicester, Steve Claridge, well, star may not be quite the right word, but he's certainly been around football a long time, got some know-how and got some goals this season.
He's done well for Leicester this season, scored a lot of vital goals. This is against Newcastle, this first clip, and it just shows how tenacious he is at times. He picks the ball up here on the left-hand side, and he's not going to let it go. He comes inside, looks as though he's lost it, and then just puts a foot in and keeps in possession. As I say, he scores some vital goals. He takes a long time to get to the back post here, but he's in a great position to score. And this is a quality goal coming up. He picks it up deep, runs forward, gets on his left foot, and a great finish in the top corner. And he'll be hoping to score one of those today, that's for sure.
Yeah. And of course, Jim, we can't possibly ignore Zola. He's annoyed us all week, really, one way and another, but he's a special player.
He is indeed, and for all those who are not too tall in stature, the young lads out there, unlike American football and basketball, you don't have to be 6'6" to get to the top in this game, and he proves that. He's got such an outstanding skill ratio. He's supremely balanced because of his size, and of course this first touch here was supposedly not perfect. The through ball was, it beat Hughes, but look how he makes up for it. He gets a slight deflection here, but in the end he thumps that in through an angle, and Walker could take the blame, but that was a class shot. But it's the energy he gets into his weaving, turning play. See, there's a sudden acceleration, quickly nips back. A little bit of Johnny Giles there, reminiscent.
It does look like it.
Wonderful little touch. But here again, tussling there with Dix. Look at it. Right or left, and he doesn't miss, does he? Finally, there's power and accuracy in that shot.
He's a brilliant player.
He says he's expected to get a bit of stick because of scoring that goal against England around the ground, so we will see what sort of response he gets here today.
You know what sets him apart? You always say that at the top level, the biggest advantage you can have is 2 great feet. If you look at the left foot shot against Liverpool and that right foot shot against England, you couldn't say what was his better foot.
Fantastic.
He's brilliant on either side.
All he gets from me is admiration.
Yeah. Absolutely right. Yeah. Well, the teams are coming out. In a moment, Barry Davis will confirm the teams for you, and you'll see that Martin O'Neill's lineup is rather ambitious, I think, to say the least, but comments on that in a moment. just to tell you that Bradford have played Sheffield Wednesday already today, and we'll show you exactly what happened in that at half-time here. And of course we've got the draw for the 6th round of the Littlewoods Cup for you live later on at the end of this. But now our match commentators, Trevor Brooking, and first Barry Davis.
Well, Glenn Hoddle may feel he had a few problems stopping Gianfranco Zola on Wednesday evening. An Irishman called Martin O'Neill may feel they pale into insignificance with the number of players he's got out, the 4 suspended and a long injury list. So let's look at his lineup for the first time in a cup tie this season, and in a way against his better judgment. He has no reserve goalkeeper Kevin Poole. He's recalled the veteran Steve Walsh, who's had a cartilage operation and hasn't played since November. And among the youngsters he's got around, he's recalled Sam McMahon for the substitutes bench from a loan spell in Kettering. And this is how he hopes they're going to play.
Well, a little bit cavalier perhaps. He's trying to push Robbins, Marshall and Claridge all up to... He feels that he wants to pressurise the Chelsea defence and put them perhaps not too capable of throwing men forward. And I think at the back, of course, the 3 men, Pryor, Walsh and Watts, have a big responsibility. They're quite tall, and along with Marshall, might give them an advantage at set pieces, particularly, you know, corner kicks and free kicks, I would think.
No problems for the Chelsea player manager, and we emphasise that today, Ruud Gullit, because if there is a surprise, it's the fact that he's included himself among the substitutes. So he and Vialli will be sitting, as it were, cheek by jowl. Otherwise, the side without Vialli is very much as expected.
I wonder what Martin O'Neill would have done if he'd have had Gullit and Vialli on his bench. But Leboeuf, of course, is the playmaker. He distributes it from the back. The midfield, multi-talented, they keep possession superbly, and of course Zola just playing behind Hughes, and no surprise that Hughes starts this particular cup tie. Of course, made such a difference when he came on against Liverpool at half-time.
Well, Vialli not exactly next to the player manager at the moment. We need to keep warm on the bench. It's a chilly afternoon with a swirling wind, and here is our referee Mike Reed from Birmingham, and you can see the wind rustling his shirt. Well, he wiped the smile from collectively the British face, the English face I should say, on Wednesday evening, but now trying to bring the smile to the faces of Chelsea supporters, and indeed with hopes of going back to Wembley to entertain again. This time we've had a quarter of an hour, and it's been a good quarter of an hour for the home side. And now Zola to take Chelsea's corner. Only half away. Trescu in gloves. Discretion is the better part, I think. Wise. Better from Chelsea. Oh! Absolute cracking drive from Di Matteo, all against the run of the play, but they invited him to have the shot. They just said, how far do you want to come? And the answer was, well, sufficiently far to get a good sight of the goal, and then I'll score. And that's precisely what he did. Look at the amount of room he has when he comes inside here. But just leave him.
Well, it's a wonderful goal, but you've got to channel him down the line. You mustn't let him come inside the 18-yard box. That was too easy. Steve Walsh hasn't had many games since being out for 2 or 3 months. A great crashing shot.
Chelsea. 10 minutes to go to half-time. Claridge. And a good opening 10 minutes, Claridge, as indeed did most of the team, a little bit more than that time. Here's Petrescu. Promising looking break this for Chelsea. Petrescu still. Hughes, they've got a man over on the far side, they don't need him, it's 2-0, Hughes the scorer.
onto the track. Key was it Simon Grayson's bad delivery. Normally a right back who playing on the left side, trying to hit the cross with his right. He's been cut out here, then he's out of position, and Petrescu suddenly ahead of him makes that extra man tell. Look, he comes inside, great run by Mark Hughes. Di Matteo takes the other man away, and there's just that opening, hit it low. Casey Keller, no chance.
Another goal in the 36th minute. Chelsea 2 goals to the good. And poor Casey Keller. He's been beaten twice, but apart from back passes, he's had nothing else to do. Away by Clark. Hughes makes it his. Wise is behind. Zola is square. Comes out to Parker, slightly fortuitously. Sinclair requires another ball, and not only makes the roof of the stand, but the roof of houses on the far side. If he'd hit it a little bit harder, he'd have managed to get it in the rugby ground of the Tigers, which is behind there.
I think somebody might have just lost their match, because I thought I saw an aerial disappear off the roof there.
It's always a vantage point. The roof of the Bentley firm building. Leicester City desperately need something from this. And they've got it! And it's the man who made the mistake for the first goal who comes back to make it 2-1. Steve Walsh is the scorer. Well, that's a bit of a delight for him. Through the crowd he came, got his head up well. And Hitchcock, who seemed to me to come a bit late for it, was left to pick it out.
Well, it was almost an action replay of that early free kick where it struggled. This one is a bit closer. It's inside the 6-yard box. Kevin Hitchcock then coming late, tries to punch it, never anywhere near. And that is just a little door ajar now, isn't it?
Goal coming in the 53rd minute, 8 minutes into the second half, and does change the atmosphere at Filbert Street. Leicester City. Chelsea player who went down. Grayson's just run into trouble. Terry's trying to dig him out, so the free kick given against Clark. The referee wants words. He wants to add to the statistics of the afternoon.
And it's a dangerous position, isn't it? Right near the corner of the 18-yard box. A good position for Gary Parker to put one of those free kicks in.
Just look at the number of blue shirts. Put it past his own goalkeeper, and Leicester have come back from the dead at half-time to be very much alive still in this season's FA Cup.
Well, I don't think it was a good free kick. It was too near the goalkeeper for me. I think Kevin Hitchcock would have had it, but Eddie Newton wasn't to know who was behind him, got the toe-ender, and Leicester City, the momentum and pressure has been building up. What a finale.
As soon as the manager comes on, it's all square.